Stop. Everything you believe about getting ahead is wrong. You've been programmed to speak your ambitions, to share your wins, to react to every slight. This external noise is not power, it is leakage. Every word you utter is a piece of energy you lose. Every reaction is a strategy you surrender. The world celebrates the loud, but the winners are the silent. Your victory is not in the declaration, it is in the execution. This is not a philosophy, it is a weapon. In the next hour, you will learn the quiet discipline that allows you to move strategically while others waste energy reacting. Your transformation begins now, and it begins in silence. Chapter 1. Silence is not absence, it is power. Listen closely. This is where your transformation begins. You have spent your entire life believing that strength is loud. You think authority is expressed through command. You think confidence requires a detailed explanation. You are wrong. Every single one of those actions is a surrender. They are leaks. They are energy given away. Silence is not an empty void. It is the strategic vacuum. It is the fortress you build around your intent. It is the unbreachable wall that protects your true strategy. This is the first law of power you must internalize. The wise man never shows his full hand. Say that to yourself. The wise man never shows his full hand. You have a choice. You can live in the chatter, reacting, explaining, and justifying. Or you can occupy the silence, observing, analyzing, and ultimately, winning. That's the key. The reaction trap. Let's talk about the trap. It's called the reaction trap. It is the moment you are triggered. An insult, a criticism, a sudden, unexpected piece of news. What happens? Your physiology changes instantly. Blood pressure rises. Your mind races. And you feel the irresistible urge to fire back, to defend, to correct, to explain. This is not strength. This is an instinct exploited by every manipulator, every opponent, and every lazy competitor on the planet. When you react immediately, you give away 3 critical resources. Your composure. You let the other person know they successfully pierced your armor. They know your weakness. Your information. You speak from emotion, not logic. You reveal things you never intended to. Your fear, your annoyance, your real plan. Your time. You surrender valuable decision-making seconds that could be used for calculation, not defense. Immediate reaction is always exploited. Always. This is why you must train yourself to register an event without a visible response. You don't need their permission to be steady. You don't need their approval to be calm. You don't need to justify your existence in the heat of the moment. It's not about suppressing the feeling, it's about delaying the expression. You allow the emotion to wash over you, but you refuse to let it exit your mouth. That's the key. A verbal defense is a loss of control. A silent observation is the ultimate counterattack. The unreadable opponent. Look at the highest levels of success. The master negotiator. The legendary CEO. The military strategist who shifts the entire battlefield. What do they all share? They are unreadable. They possess what we call the poker face. It is not just an expression, it is a policy. It is the discipline of maintaining absolute inscrutability when the stakes are highest. Think of the old Stoics. They understood this fundamentally. The external world is chaos. The internal world is your sanctuary. When you let the chaos of others' words enter and immediately exit your mouth, you expose your sanctuary. You become predictable. And predictable means vulnerable. Contrast this with the silent practitioner. They sit across the table. They receive a stunning piece of information, a massive offer, a shocking rejection, a critical threat. And they do nothing. No nod, no flinch, no visible shift in breathing. What happens in that silence? The strategic vacuum is created. The opponent panics. They feel compelled to fill the void. They start talking. They start over-explaining. They start revealing their own weaknesses and fallback positions. They give away the very information you needed to defeat them. They talk, you win. You don't need their permission to stop giving them ammunition. You don't need to announce your strength. You demonstrate it through your containment. Historical figures understood this. Many successful leaders knew that an inscrutable presence forced compliance and respect. They became figures of quiet awe, because their thoughts were their own and their moves were only revealed at the point of maximum impact. Silence makes you unreadable, and unreadable means invincible. This is the truth that separates the successful from the constantly distracted. You have a choice. Do you want to be the person who explains their strategy, or the person whose strategy explains itself through results? The time for proving yourself with noise is over. The time for constructing your silent power begins now. You have mastered the principle of containment. Now, let's talk about the specific cost of your current loudest habit. Chapter 2. The silent cost of seeking validation. You learned in Chapter 1 that silence is power. Now, let's identify the specific weakness that strips that power from you instantly. The addiction to approval. You have been conditioned to crave external acceptance. You live in a world that encourages you to post your achievements, justify your decisions, and defend your honor. This is a fatal flaw in the path to true success. The moment you seek validation, you surrender control. Think about it. When you feel the urge to verbally prove yourself, to set the record straight after a perceived slight, or to fish for praise after a minor win, you are handing the keys to your self-worth to a third party. You are telling the world, my work is not enough. Tell me I matter. This need to talk, this need to clarify, this hunger for a pat on the back, is the primary killer of strategic momentum. You don't need their permission to be great. You don't need their applause to be effective. You don't need their permission. It's not about having confidence, it's about enacting discipline. The disciplined mind knows that validation is a fleeting drug. It is a sugary hit that feels good for a second, but leaves you psychologically bankrupt and dependent on the next dose. Stop taking the drug. The proof is in the doing. This is the central pillar of your new philosophy. Your results are your only acceptable mouthpiece. Stop debating your value. Start increasing it. Spend 0 seconds explaining your worth and 100% of your time making that worth undeniable. The goal is not to convince people you are capable. The goal is to perform so consistently and at such a high level that their opinion becomes irrelevant. You see people everywhere doing the opposite. They spend hours crafting the perfect social media post about their intention to start a business. They spend their energy arguing with critics instead of refining their product. They talk about the mountain they're going to climb, but their feet are still planted firmly in the valley. This is self-sabotage wrapped in self-promotion. The truth of the Stoic Way is this: the deed speaks, the doer does not. Let the quality of your output, the tangible weight of your accomplishments, and the depth of your impact be the loudest thing about you. When you achieve a goal, simply move on to the next one. No press release required. No self-congratulatory speech necessary. You know what you did. That's the key. That internal acknowledgement is the only validation that builds lasting power. If someone misunderstands you, let them. If they doubt you, ignore them. If they ask you to defend your process, decline. Your only duty is to the execution. The final, irrefutable result is the only defense you ever need to mount. The energy drain. Now, let's discuss the hidden cost of this talking habit. It is an energy drain. When you talk about your plans, even to well-meaning friends or family, you dilute your commitment. This is a profound psychological principle. When you vocalize a goal, your brain often registers the social approval you receive as if you have already achieved the goal. You get the psychological satisfaction prematurely. You cash in the emotional reward before putting in the effort. The energy required for the real, grinding execution suddenly drops. You feel less urgency because you've already received the applause. Stop talking about the mountain you'll climb. Just climb it. Every time you explain your business plan, you lose mental bandwidth that could have been used to execute that plan. Every time you share a rough draft, you expose a vulnerable concept to premature critique, which can introduce fear and self-doubt. You don't need their permission to proceed. You need focus. You have a finite amount of mental energy every day. You have a finite amount of discipline. Are you going to spend it debating, justifying, and seeking praise? Or are you going to spend it building, solving, and executing? It's not about being secretive, it's about being efficient. The truly efficient person guards their process like a national treasure. They understand that their creative space, the space between idea and execution, must be protected by a wall of silence. Adopt the rule of the undisclosed project. Your most important, high-value work should be kept entirely secret until it is impossible to ignore. Let the results blind them. Let the results shock them. This discipline cuts the cord of external dependence. It frees you from the emotional roller coaster of public opinion. It forces you to rely on your own judgment, your own metric, your own discipline. That's the key. Silence is the filter that separates the talkers from the doers. You must choose the path of the doer. You must let your deeds be the only sound you make. You must stop seeking the audience and start seeking the results. You have stopped craving approval. Now, let's take the next critical step, moving from the intention of silence to the reality of pure, relentless action. Chapter 3. Stop proving and start doing. We have established that silence is power. We have identified that the need for validation is an energy leak. Now, we move to the final, necessary phase of this shift, replacing verbal noise with silent action. Stop proving and start doing. Your biggest enemy is not the critic outside your window. It is the ego inside your head. The ego's loud voice. The ego loves applause. It craves recognition. It wants the satisfaction of the achievement without the grueling, silent effort required to earn it. This manifests as the future-praising trap. What is the future-praising trap? It's when you talk endlessly about the diet you are going to start, the business you are going to launch, the certification you are going to obtain. You outline the plan in glorious detail to anyone who will listen. And when they nod or they praise your ambition, your ego receives a powerful narcotic hit. You get the psychological reward now. You feel like a success, simply for talking about the intention. The ego gets the applause now, which eliminates the psychological pressure to deliver the actual result later. This is a trick. It is self-betrayal masked as motivation. You have a choice. You can feed the ego's addiction to present-day praise, or you can starve the ego and fuel the work. It's not about being humble, it's about being effective. The effective person understands that applause is only earned at the finish line, and even then, it is only a momentary distraction. The truly disciplined person seeks only the execution. That's the key. The rule of the undisclosed project. Your most valuable work deserves the greatest protection. You must adopt an inviolable personal principle, the rule of the undisclosed project. This means that your most important, highest value projects, the ones that will fundamentally shift your career, your financial situation, or your personal legacy, must be kept entirely secret. You do not talk about them. You do not hint at them. You do not post cryptic updates. Why this extreme measure? Guarding against premature critique. As soon as you open a fragile, nascent idea to the public, you invite doubt. You invite the naysayers who have done nothing themselves but specialize in dismantling the dreams of others. That doubt takes root. It drains your confidence. Maintaining psychological momentum, as we discussed, verbalizing the goal prematurely steals the drive. Keep the goal secret, and the internal pressure to execute builds relentlessly. That pressure is your fuel. Preventing jinxing. Call it superstition or psychology. When the idea is kept hidden, it maintains a sacred, untouchable quality. It remains your private, burning obsession, protected from the cold skepticism of the world. Your project stays silent until it is 80%, 90% complete. Until it is a finished product, ready for launch, or a done deal, ready for announcement. You don't need their permission to work. You only need the quiet, focused space to succeed. Imagine a master sculptor. Does he invite the crowd to critique the wet clay while he is still forming the basic shape? No. He works in silence, behind closed doors, only unveiling the statue when it is polished, perfect, and irrefutable. Your life's work is the statue. The silence is the closed door. It's not about hiding your failures. It's about optimizing your success. Action as your only dialogue. This is the final application of the Stoic way of silence. Your interaction with the world must become action as your only dialogue. Stop using words to persuade people of your competence. Use your accomplishments. Stop arguing about your intelligence. Deliver the result. Stop debating your integrity. Demonstrate it through relentless, consistent execution. Your silence forces people to shift their focus. They cannot listen to your excuses or your grand plans. They are forced to look directly at your accomplishments. And accomplishments are not subjective. They are facts. They are metrics. They are results. The difference is profound. The talker explains why they failed, debates how they will succeed. Their history is a long list of good intentions and abandoned projects. The doer never has to explain. They simply present the outcome. Their history is a portfolio of completed, high-value work. When you refuse to engage in the noise of self-promotion, you elevate your stature instantly. You become the person who is simply in motion. While everyone else is busy shouting about what they might do, you are already halfway through the task. The only acceptable conversation is results. Make this your mantra. Use your time, your energy, and your focus exclusively on production. Let the finished product, the closed deal, the new revenue stream, or the completed physical transformation be the only dialogue you engage in. This discipline, this quiet, relentless work, is the foundation of unstoppable power. You have embraced silence as strategy. You have rejected the ego's urge to talk. Now, we must arm you with the ultimate defensive tool to protect your silence when the world tries to provoke you. Chapter 4. The 7-second rule for emotional containment. You have committed to silence as a strategy. You have committed to action over validation. But these commitments crumble the moment you are attacked, criticized, or emotionally triggered. You need an immediate, powerful defense mechanism. You need a tool to protect your composure when the world demands an emotional explosion. I am giving you that tool now. It is called the 7-second rule for emotional containment. The instant leakage. Listen to the cold, hard science of emotional volatility. When someone launches an attack, a cutting insult, a harsh criticism, a blatant lie, your body reacts instantly. This is the instant leakage phase. Adrenaline spikes. Cortisol floods your system. The amygdala, the primitive part of your brain responsible for fight or flight, takes over. It hijacks your logical, strategic mind. In that state, you stop being a CEO, an effective negotiator, or a calm partner. You become a purely reactive animal. The critical window for this leakage is the first 7 seconds. In those first 7 seconds, you feel the irresistible, overwhelming urge to defend, to justify, to retaliate, to lash out. This is when you say the one thing, the single, raw, unfiltered, emotional sentence that you will regret for weeks. You don't need their permission to control your response, but the body is screaming at you to release the pressure. You have a choice. You can let the pressure leak out instantly, surrendering control and information, or you can contain it. It's not about being emotionless, it's about being strategic. Emotional containment is not the suppression of feeling, it is the delay of response. The strategic pause. The solution is a simple, non-negotiable mental discipline, the 7-second silent count. When you are triggered, when the blood rushes to your face, when you feel the hot sting of injustice, when the words are clawing at your throat, you stop. You do not move. You do not speak. You engage in a forced, internal, deliberate count of 7. Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the strategic pause. It is a mental tripwire. This forced delay is not wasted time. It is the most valuable 7 seconds of your interaction. What happens in this silent gap? The chemical flush. By holding the impulse for 7 seconds, the initial, most violent wave of adrenaline and cortisol begins to subside. The emotional spike drops. Your strategic mind, your prefrontal cortex, is allowed to re-engage. Data collection. You shift from reacting to observing. You use those 7 seconds to truly look at the person attacking you. Is their face strained? Are they desperate? What is their true intent? You gain information while they wait in discomfort. Response calibration. You move from automatic defense to deliberate construction. The response you formulate after 7 seconds of silence will always be calmer, clearer, and more powerful than the explosive retort you almost delivered. This is the key to maintaining your composure. You are training yourself to hold the impulse, own the response. This is a physical drill. You must practice it. The next time a customer service agent frustrates you, pause. The next time traffic cuts you off, pause. The next time a relative criticizes your life choices, breathe and count to 7. You don't need their permission to be steady. You need the discipline to enforce the pause. Reclaiming authority. The simple act of not reacting is one of the most powerful moves you can make in any volatile situation. When the opponent launches their attack, they are expecting a reciprocal volley of noise. They are expecting your anger, your defense, or your tears. They have calculated their move based on your predictable reaction. Your silence, your refusal to play their game, instantly shifts the entire balance of power. When they finish their verbal attack, and you simply look at them, contained and unmoving, they are unnerved. Their energy dissipates. Their prepared script suddenly has no audience. They look erratic, emotional, and unprofessional. You, the listener, instantly appear powerful, centered, and fully in control. You have reclaimed the authority. You forced the chaos to end with their words, not yours. Think of the courtroom. The lawyer who keeps their cool while the other side screams objections is always seen as the winner. The politician who meets a heated question with a calm, deliberate pause is instantly elevated in the eyes of the public. This is not about winning the argument. It is about winning the frame. The frame is who is in control. Your refusal to be emotionally rushed is the highest form of dominance. It signals to everyone present, including yourself, that your mind operates on a higher, more strategic clock. This discipline protects your focus, guards your secrets, and maintains your dignity. You have secured the fortress of your emotions. Now, we must turn this containment outward and apply it to the art of extracting information without sacrificing any of your own. Chapter 5: How to Master the Art of the No Comment. You have mastered the pause. You have contained the emotional leak. Now, we take your silence from a defensive tool to an offensive weapon. This is about gaining an unassailable strategic advantage through the art of the no comment. Information asymmetry. In every complex situation, a negotiation, a crucial relationship talk, a business pitch, there is a fundamental truth. The person with more information and the one who reveals less always wins. This is called information asymmetry. It means a lack of equal knowledge. And your job, as a disciplined Stoic strategist, is to ensure that the asymmetry is always tipped in your favor. You want to know everything about them, while they know only what you permit them to know about you. When you speak, you are spending capital. You are giving away a piece of yourself, a piece of your strategy, or a piece of your intentions. Your words are a gift. Do not give them away cheaply. You have a choice. You can be the open book, transparent and easily predictable, or you can be the sealed vault, mysterious and strategically impenetrable. The talker believes they are building rapport. The strategist knows they are building leverage. Every unnecessary detail you offer about your timeline, your budget, your backup plan, or your emotional state is leverage you give your opponent for free. It's not about being dishonest, it's about being leveraged. That's the key. True power lies not in what you say, but in what you rigorously, confidently withhold. The power of ambiguity. The goal of the no comment is not always total silence. Sometimes, a carefully constructed verbal shield is more effective. This is the power of ambiguity. When you are pressed for details, the amateur panics and spills the full truth. The master uses non-committal language that sounds professional but reveals nothing of substance. Your opponent is trying to force you into a corner. They want a yes or a no. They want a specific number or a fixed date. Your discipline is to float above their specificity. Here are your new shield phrases. Practice them until they feel natural and unbreakable. That's an interesting angle we're exploring. Reveals nothing about the timeline or feasibility. We're still in the assessment phase. Tells them you are moving, but hides your next step. I appreciate the detailed question. We are focusing on maximizing long-term value. A beautiful, corporate-sounding void of information. Notice what these phrases do. They acknowledge the questioner. They sound confident, but they are completely non-committal. They are verbal smokescreens. You don't need their permission to be vague. You need the discipline to resist the urge to be precise when precision serves them more than it serves you. This is the difference between a successful play and a tipped hand. The moment you tip your hand, the moment they know your reserve price in a negotiation, or your true feelings in a conflict, you lose your leverage. The silent, ambiguous response maintains the tension and keeps them guessing. That's the key. A confident, brief silence, a strategic, 7-second pause after a question, can be the most effective no comment of all. It implies deep thought and careful consideration, but commits you to zero information. The question flips. The ultimate application of this silent strategy is to turn the information asymmetry completely around. This is done through the question flips. The amateur answers questions. The strategist reverses them. When someone asks you a pointed question that demands you reveal your strategy or intent, your goal is simple: extract their information without sacrificing any of your own. The flip turns their energy back onto them. It makes them defend their question, and in doing so, they often reveal their underlying motive, fear, or goal. Here are specific, powerful flip techniques you must adopt. The intent flip, responding to a direct question about your plans with, "That's an interesting perspective, why do you ask?" This is devastatingly effective. It forces them to reveal why they need the information. Are they competitive? Concerned? Trying to sell you something? Their answer provides you with tactical data. The clarification flip, if they ask, "Are you going to expand into market X next quarter?" Do not answer. Instead, ask, "What concerns do you have about the expansion into market X?" You have avoided confirming the plan, and you have instantly gained insight into potential competitive threats or internal resistance. The delegation flip, if they demand to know how long a project will take, respond, "What is the maximum timeline you are prepared to accept?" You push the burden of the constraint onto them. In every case, you have remained silent about your true answer, yet you have harvested crucial intelligence. You have utilized the power of silence not just to protect yourself, but to gain ground. This discipline makes you a collector of information, never a dispenser. You become the quiet, strategic center of every conversation. People will leave meetings with you feeling like they had to do all the talking, while you learned everything you needed to know. You have now learned to speak powerfully through silence. You have secured your secrets. Now, we must address the internal and external forces that constantly threaten to shatter your disciplined composure. Chapter 6. The 2 types of noise to eliminate. You have built the fortress of silence. You have deployed the 7-second rule to guard the gates. But the enemy of your focus is not always an overt attack. It often comes as insidious, relentless noise, a constant static that degrades your strategic thinking. To truly win through silence, you must become a ruthless editor of your environment and your mind. We must eliminate the 2 types of noise. External noise, the complainer. The first type of noise is external noise. This is the constant, unnecessary chatter of the world that demands your participation, your agreement, or your emotional reaction. I am talking specifically about the complainer, the toxic person, the gossip, the endless debater, the chronic victim who seeks to pull you into their vortex of negativity. Their noise is seductive. It feels good for a moment to participate in a shared complaint, to engage in a righteous argument, or to join in group gossip. But understand this: the moment you participate, you abandon your strategic silence. You cannot win through silence if you surround yourself with the loud. Complaining is an energy transfer. They offload their negativity onto you, and you, by listening, agreeing, or joining in, take on that toxic sludge. It consumes your mental bandwidth. It shifts your focus from solving your own high-value problems to debating their low-value drama. You have a choice. You can be an active participant in the collective noise, or you can be an island of calm, focused production. Your discipline here is absolute refusal. You don't need their permission to walk away from a gossiping circle. You don't need their approval to shut down a debate that leads nowhere. When someone starts spewing negativity, your response must be short, neutral, and final. "I can't discuss this right now," or, even better, a confident, firm silence followed by a change of subject or location. It's not about being rude, it's about guarding your attention. Your attention is your most valuable asset. Stop giving it away for free to people who use it only to amplify their own victimhood. The Stoic knows that focusing on what you cannot control, like other people's complaints or the news cycle's chaos, is the definition of weakness. Focus only on what you can control: your actions, your responses, and your environment. Internal noise, the inner critic. The second type of noise is far more dangerous. It is internal noise, the destructive, non-stop mental chatter inside your own head. This is the inner critic, the voice of worry, the voice of self-doubt, the endless replay of past mistakes, the catastrophizing about the future. It is the mental loop that consumes your precious strategic energy. You might be sitting in a quiet room, physically removed from all external distractions, but your mind is a raging storm of self-criticism and anxiety. This is a profound contradiction. The silence you seek must begin inside your own head. This internal noise stops action dead in its tracks. It paralyzes execution. It is the insidious doubt that whispers, "You're not good enough. Wait until you have more training," or "What if everyone laughs at you?" That's the key. If you win the battle against the outside noise but lose the battle against the inside noise, you have lost everything. Your discipline must extend inward. It's not about eliminating the thoughts, it's about eliminating the engagement. You don't need their permission, or your own critic's permission, to proceed. The thought is not a command. It is merely a signal. You acknowledge the signal, and you immediately return your attention to the task at hand. You have a choice. You can let the inner critic run the show, or you can recognize that voice for what it is: useless, unproductive noise. The mental firewall. To combat both external chatter and internal anxiety, you must construct a mental firewall. This firewall is built using the time-tested tools of Stoic practice, visualization, and focused reflection. Stoic visualization, premeditatio malorum. This is the practice of mentally rehearsing the worst-case scenarios, not to indulge in fear, but to rob the noise of its power. Visualize the critic's harsh words. Visualize the project failing. By facing the worst-case outcome in the calm of your mind, you realize two things. First, that you can survive it, and second, that your fear is often louder than the actual threat. When the external event occurs, it produces less noise because you have already accounted for it. Focused meditation. This is not about emptying the mind. It is about training the mind to return to a singular point of focus, the breath, a mantra, or a simple thought. When the inner critic speaks, you simply and silently label the thought, worry, doubt, and return to the anchor. This trains you to observe the noise without participating in it. This is the ultimate internal silence. This mental firewall protects your focus. It filters the toxic waste of the world and the debilitating doubts of your own mind, allowing only pure, strategic thought to pass through. Your silence must be total, external and internal. When you achieve this state of concentrated focus, you are ready for the ultimate strategic advantage, allowing others to reveal their intent while you simply listen. You have cleaned up the noise. Now, let's talk about how to use the resulting quiet to harvest intelligence. Chapter 7. Listening as the ultimate power move. You have cleared the noise. You have built the firewall. Now, your silence must become an instrument of intelligence gathering. Your goal is not merely to protect your own information, but to systematically harvest the information of others. The greatest leaders are not known for what they said. They are known for what they heard. Listening is the ultimate power move. The interruption habit. Look around you in any meeting, any social interaction, any relationship discussion. What do you see? The interruption habit. People are not listening. They are waiting. They are waiting for the moment the other person pauses to finally jump in and deliver their pre-scripted reply. This habit is a clear, undeniable signal of insecurity. It demonstrates that you value your own voice and your own opinion more than you value the strategic intelligence the other person might offer. It shows you are listening to reply, not listening to learn. The moment you interrupt, or the moment you start formulating your perfect retort while the other person is still speaking, you have committed two tactical errors. You stop receiving information. You hear words, but you miss context, tone, and hidden signals. Your mind is closed. You reveal your nervousness. The urgent need to talk proves you are uncomfortable with silence, proving you are not in control. You have a choice. You can participate in the insecure, back-and-forth volley of conversation, or you can sit still and become the silent, strategic sponge. Listen to learn. Do not listen to reply. The truth is, most people hate silence. They are desperate to fill it. They are terrified of the empty air. The longer you remain quietly attentive, the more they will talk, and the more they talk, the more they will overshare. Your discipline must be to let them finish. Let them pause. Let the moment hang for a beat, or even two. You don't need their permission to remain silent. You need the fortitude to let the pressure build, forcing them to reveal more of their thoughts, more of their fears, and more of their hand. That's the key. Eavesdropping on intent. The amateur listener focuses on the words. They take everything at face value. The strategist, the true Stoic listener, focuses on the intent. You must train yourself to stop focusing on the words people use and start focusing on the intent behind those words. The most valuable information is never the declared position. It is the hidden pressure point. It is the true fear. It is the unspoken desire. These psychological markers are always revealed in an unguarded moment, a slip of the tongue, a nervous gesture, a sudden shift in tone, or an argument they overly defend. You are eavesdropping on intent. When a competitor insists that a certain clause is non-negotiable, listen to the tone. Is it firm, or is there a slight, nervous tremor? The tremor is the truth. When a colleague launches a passive-aggressive complaint, listen to why they chose that moment to say it. The context of the attack reveals their weakness, not yours. When a romantic partner avoids discussing a financial issue, listen to the distraction they offer instead. The distraction is a map to their deeper anxiety. Your absolute silence creates the perfect condition for this leakage. People relax when they feel like they are doing all the talking. They drop their guard. They forget their script. They speak from emotion, and emotion is always honest. It's not about being judgmental, it's about being observant. You are a data collection machine. Every conversation is a deep-sea dive. The gold is at the bottom, and you only get there by silently descending, not by noisily splashing on the surface. The information harvest. Reiterate this final, defining principle. Active, silent listening is the single greatest competitive advantage you possess. 1,000 shouted arguments will never provide the sheer volume of strategic intelligence that can be harvested by simply staying quiet. When you refuse to engage in the verbal ego contest, you achieve an information harvest that leaves your opponents bare. While they are busy proving they are smart, you are busy compiling the data required to beat them. This discipline provides you with clarity. You understand the landscape fully before making a move. Anticipation. You can predict their next move because you heard them hint at their fear or plan 20 minutes earlier. Unassailability. You never have to retract a statement or defend a careless word. Your response, when it finally comes, is precise, measured, and based on complete information. Remember the repeating phrase that summarizes this chapter's power. They talk, you win. Make a contract with yourself today. In every interaction, your goal is to speak 20% of the time and listen 80% of the time. You will use your voice only to ask concise, open-ended questions, and then you will return to a disciplined, attentive silence. You have mastered the art of extraction. You know how to take advantage of the chaos of others. Now, we must turn that advantage into a resource. You have learned to listen. Next, you will learn to step away. Chapter 8. The Strategy of Intentional Withholding. You have learned to guard your tongue defensively and use your silence offensively. Now, we shift your focus from individual interactions to your overall presence. Your goal is to apply the economic laws of value to your own life. This is the strategy of intentional withholding. Scarcity and value. This is a fundamental law of economics and power. Scarcity drives value. Think about diamonds versus pebbles. Which one is constantly available? Which one is constantly talking? The pebble. Its value is zero. The diamond is hidden, difficult to access, and rarely seen. Its value is immense. You are treating yourself like a pebble. When you are constantly available, always ready to jump on a call, always chiming in with an opinion, always posting your thoughts online, you signal one thing: you are cheap. Your time is worthless. Your words are common. When you are constantly talking, you saturate the market with your opinions and your presence, and like any saturated market, the price drops to nothing. You have a choice. You can be the endless, cheap supply of noise, or you can embody the rare, high-value resource. Your discipline here is simple: reduce supply to increase demand. It's not about playing games, it's about commanding respect. Respect is a currency, and you depreciate it every time you overspend your attention and your voice. You don't need their permission to be scarce. You need the discipline to maintain the boundary. That's the key. Let others chase the spotlight. You will cultivate the shadows, where true value is created and guarded. The strategic withdrawal. The most powerful form of intentional withholding is the strategic withdrawal. This is the deliberate, temporary disappearance from the public eye, the social scene, or even constant digital contact. It is not avoidance. It is a calculated, focused move to create impact and distance. Withdrawal serves two critical functions: for strategy and recalibration. When you are constantly visible, you are constantly reacting. You are fighting the daily fires. Withdrawal allows you to step back and gain the high ground. It gives you the space to work on the big moves, the game-changing strategies, without the distraction of daily noise. You re-strategize in silence. You return with an evolved product, an unstoppable plan, or a completely new presence. Creating impactful distance. When you are always there, you are taken for granted. When you step back, not sulking, but working, you generate immediate curiosity and respect. Absence breeds respect and curiosity. Your silence creates a void that others feel compelled to fill, usually with questions about what you are building. You force people to recognize your presence by removing it. The strategic withdrawal is mandatory for anyone serious about transformation. You cannot transform in public. Transformation is a quiet, sometimes messy, internal process. Think of an athlete training for the Olympics. They do not train in the public square. They go to a remote, focused camp. They cut off unnecessary communication. They commit to the silent grind. You must treat your life's goals with the same disciplined intensity. How often do you need this? Whenever you feel the noise creeping back in. Whenever you feel your value dropping. Whenever you are planning a fundamental shift. Pull back. Mute the notifications. Go dark. You don't need their permission. You need the courage to prioritize the work over the connection, making your yes matter. Every time you choose to speak, you are spending capital. Every utterance, every opinion, every detail given away diminishes the overall weight of your words. Therefore, you must treat your communication like a precious, finite resource. Make your yes matter. Adopt the principle, let your silence be the standard and your words the exception. If you speak 10 times a day, your 10th statement carries no weight. If you speak once a day or once a week, every word you utter becomes an event. People lean in. They listen intently. They assume correctly that you have waited because you have something genuinely important to say. This is the final mastery of the tongue, using your voice only for the moments that fundamentally move the needle. Ask yourself this question before speaking. Is this necessary? Is this statement required to achieve my strategic objective? Is this detail required to close the deal? Is this argument required to protect my integrity or my family? If the answer is anything less than a resounding yes, the default answer is silence. When you speak only when necessary, your voice becomes an act of power, not an act of habit. You conserve your energy. You maintain the mystery. You utilize the scarcity you have intentionally cultivated. This deliberate discipline ensures that your focus remains inward, on building, rather than outward, on proving. You have mastered the external and internal aspects of silence. Now, we must incorporate this into a repeatable, daily set of actions to solidify your transformation. Chapter 9. The Daily Practice of Quiet Discipline. You understand the philosophy of silence. You understand the strategy, but a philosophy is useless without daily application. Power is not a theory. It is a habit. This chapter provides your field manual, the non-negotiable, concrete actions you must take every single day to integrate the Stoic Way into your life. This is the daily practice of quiet discipline, the no-complaint contract. Your first assignment is the no-complaint contract. For the next 24 hours, you will commit to making 0 verbal complaints or criticisms. Not about the weather, not about your boss, not about traffic, and especially not about other people. This is a profoundly difficult exercise for the undisciplined mind. We are addicted to verbal venting. We use complaints as a way to bond, to rationalize failure, or to feel momentarily superior. But every complaint is a confession of powerlessness. It is a sign that you are focused on what you cannot control, rather than what you can. When you feel the urge to complain, you have a choice. You can let the energy leak out in unproductive noise, or you can force that energy into silent, constructive solution finding. The discipline forces you to become a quiet solver. If the temperature is wrong, you don't complain. You silently adjust the thermostat. If a colleague is incompetent, you don't criticize them. You silently adjust your system to mitigate their error. It's not about being happy, it's about being effective. The silent solver is always more effective than the loud complainer. That's the key. This contract forces your mind to operate in a solution-focused mode. When you can't complain verbally, you must complain constructively internally. You must generate an internal, silent action plan to fix the situation, or a reasoned, internal acceptance of what cannot be fixed. Every time you succeed in remaining silent, you conserve power. Every time you fail and complain, you surrender it. Measure your progress by your restraint. The social media mute. The second daily discipline confronts the biggest source of energy leakage in the modern world, the digital stream. You will implement a 1-week moratorium on posting personal updates, thoughts, or reactions on social media. This is the social media mute. This is non-negotiable. You can consume information if necessary for work, but you are forbidden from contributing any original personal noise. Why this extreme measure? Because social media is the ego's perfect playground. It rewards the noise of self-expression over the difficulty of real-world action. When you post about your workout, you get the dopamine hit of approval, which dilutes the internal motivation to actually achieve the fitness goal. When you post a political reaction, you waste strategic energy debating strangers who will never change their minds. The social media mute forces the energy of self-expression to be redirected into real-world action. The thought you usually tweet must now be used to write a page of code. The photo you usually post must now be replaced by an hour of deep, focused work. The reaction you usually share must now be absorbed and processed internally for strategic benefit. You don't need their permission to disappear for a week. The world will not stop turning because you are silently executing. In fact, when you return, with tangible results, not just promises, your quiet power will be magnified. This forces you back into the rule of the undisclosed project. You work in the dark. You build the empire in silence. You let the finished, undeniable product announce itself. It's not about being irrelevant, it's about being impactful. The reflective review. The final daily discipline must happen at the end of every single day. This is the reflective review. For 10 minutes before you sleep, you will silently review the day, but with a specific focus. You are not reviewing what you did. You are reviewing what you chose not to say. Ask yourself these 2 questions. Where did I successfully apply the 7-second rule? Identify the moment when you were triggered, a criticism, a frustrating email, an argument, and you chose silence instead of reaction. Replay that moment and feel the power of your restraint. Where did I leak power? Identify the conversation where you overshared a plan, offered an unnecessary opinion, or participated in unproductive gossip. Acknowledge the leak without judgment, and formulate the silent response you should have used. This review turns your silence from a passive habit into an active metric of success. You are no longer measuring your worth by external accomplishments alone. You are measuring it by your self-mastery. Measure your progress by your restraint. This practice hardwires the discipline into your subconscious. It reinforces that the act of withholding is just as important as the act of doing. You don't need their permission to judge your own day. You need the discipline to hold yourself accountable to this internal standard. Embrace these 3 daily commitments: the no-complaint contract, the social media mute, and the reflective review. They are the tools that ensure your silence remains your standard, not your exception. You have secured your daily practice. You have built the foundation of your quiet power brick by brick. Now, it is time for the final lesson, realizing the profound, unstoppable momentum created by this sustained silence. Chapter 10. Your silent future is unstoppable. You have arrived at the conclusion. You have learned that silence is not the end of the conversation, it is the beginning of the real work. You have fought the impulse to react, the need to prove, and the addiction to noise. Now, it is time to look forward and realize the immense, compounding return on this quiet investment. This is the truth of your silent future is unstoppable. The unseen momentum. The most powerful forces in the universe are invisible. Gravity, magnetism, compound interest, and the momentum of silent discipline. You are no longer wasting energy. You are no longer leaking power through complaints, justifications, or premature announcements. Every time you successfully apply the 7-second rule, every time you choose action as your only dialogue, and every time you embrace the strategic withdrawal, you are banking energy. This is the unseen momentum. Nobody sees the hour you spent working instead of arguing. Nobody sees the deal you kept secret until it was signed. Nobody sees the crisis you averted because you listened in silence and gathered intelligence. The world sees the talkers. The world rewards the initial burst of noise. But noise fades. Discipline compounds. You are the silent architect building the strongest foundation. You are building in the darkness, where the integrity of the structure cannot be compromised by public opinion or premature critique. And then, one day, the structure is complete. The results are undeniable. The transformation is absolute. And the world asks, how did they do that? We never even heard them working. That shock, that sudden realization of your quiet ascent, is your ultimate power move. It is the moment your unseen momentum breaks through and becomes an unassailable reality. You have a choice. You can seek the temporary validation of today's noise, or you can build the unstoppable force of tomorrow's reality. That's the key. It's not about being secretive, it's about being absolute. Absolute control over your energy leads to absolute momentum in your life. You don't need their permission to win. You need the discipline to keep working while they are still talking. The legacy of action. We must now confront the final, existential choice. What do you want to leave behind? The talkers leave behind a legacy of rhetoric. A long, documented list of intentions, arguments, and social posts. A lot of noise that ultimately means nothing. The Stoic leaves behind a legacy of action. They leave behind tangible value, a stronger company, a better community, a healed relationship, a perfected skill. Things that persist, things that matter, things that impact the real world. The only true legacy is the tangible impact you leave on the world, not the temporary applause you generate from your self-promotional rhetoric. Your job is to make your work your only advertisement. If you spend your life explaining why you deserve success, you will die still explaining. If you spend your life simply achieving success, your accomplishments will speak for you long after your voice is gone. What you build is your speech. This is the final, ultimate validation you receive, the unshakable certainty that your life's work stands on its own merit, free from the crutch of explanation or the dependence on external praise. Your silence guarantees this. It forces you to invest all your psychological capital into the doing, because you have consciously removed the safety net of the talking. This is the highest form of discipline. Final call to containment. The journey is complete, but the work is eternal. You now possess the strategic blueprint for a powerful, disciplined life. Contain your energy. Master your mind. Let your results shock the world. From this moment on, you are a strategist. Every word is a calculated expense. Every silence is a strategic gain. When provoked, you will not react. You will count to 7. When tempted to boast, you will stop. You will let the deed speak. When asked to reveal your hand, you will refuse. You will use ambiguity as your shield. You have one final, non-negotiable directive. Do not tell a single soul that you listened to this book. Do not share the title. Do not recommend the method. Let this be your undisclosed project. Let the world see the profound, quiet, radical change in your behavior, and let them wonder how you became so steady, so focused, and so dominant. Let your transformation be the only evidence. Let your results be the only notification the world receives. Go. Be silent. And win. Conclusion. Stop talking. Stop explaining. Stop reacting. The lesson is simple, and it is absolute. Your silence is a fortress. You have learned that every single word is an energy leak. Every piece of self-promotion is a wasted opportunity to execute. The people who win are the people who do the work while the crowd is busy discussing the work. Your goal now is not to philosophize about the Stoic way. Your goal is to live it. Today, you will commit to the 7-second pause when you are provoked. Today, you will choose to listen for intent, not reply with ego. Today, you will withhold that one piece of information you usually give away. Do not tell a single soul you listened to this book. Let your results be the only notification the world receives. Your work starts now, and it is the quietest work you will ever do. Go. Be silent. And win.